What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome to the latest edition of Jets Latest, where you get the latest on the Jets, Jets. I'm your host, the spitting statistician, Dane Martinez, and we are finally here. It is officially week 1 of the NFL season, and we are less than a week away before the Glennaissance with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. Justin Fields as our QB1 take on former quarterback Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers at MetLife Stadium. I am very, very excited, and it seems like you guys are. Thank you to everybody who has helped me grow the channel in advance of the regular season, right? Thank you to everyone who subscribed, who watched these videos, who engage in the comments, who like these videos, and who have tell a Jet fan friend to tell a Jets fan friend. Remember, if you want to be a Jets Latest insider, click on the link in the description. You'll get access to exclusive content, all sorts of other great perks, including stuff around sports gambling, including stuff about fantasy football. You know, that's how I've come to this work. But let's get into it. One of the topics throughout training camp, throughout kind of the preseason games, was that Justin Fields wasn't really stretching the field. They weren't really throwing the ball downfield, right? And then Fields even said, listen, I'm going to take 8-yard completions if that's what is there. And I want to talk about offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand coming over from Detroit and what he had to say about it. And listen, he's okay with it. Listen to what he had to say. He goes about Fields. He's going to play the way that the defense allows him to play it. And so if they're going to allow him to take a shot down the field, then he's going to take it. And if they don't allow him, he's going to check the ball down. And we're going to move on to the next play, and we're all good with that. You also heard Aaron Glenn say that about that first preseason game against the Green Bay Packers. Like, if we call the shot and it's not there, he can check it down. Remember, Justin Fields also has the ability to run, kind of scramble and get chunk gains. Remember, this is a guy who's had over 1,000 yards rushing at one point. And I think that's fine for the style of offense we are going to be. Aaron Glenn has said, use words like efficient, right? Talked about the value of taking care of the ball. And that all jives with this. Also, Tanner Engstrand on Justin Fields' development says he's done a really nice job. I really like where Justin's at with the drop back passing concepts. He understands what we're trying to do. He understands where we're trying to attack, and he understands where the ball needs to go. And I think every day we're showing progress from Justin, the other QBs, and then just everyone being on the same page with the passing game. So I think we're good. And listen, this has been a hot topic. Everything from Justin Fields not throwing the ball downfield to who our wide receiver 2 is going to be. And quite frankly, this is also part of the reason I don't think we need that wide receiver 2. We are going to have methodical drives. We're going to be able to run the ball. Josh Reynolds, I think, is a reliable possession receiver as a number 2. Don't forget Mason Taylor at the tight end position. Don't forget, everyone's excited to see what Breece Hall does out of the backfield. I think we have more than enough in the passing game, and the way we are built is going to be time of possession, running the ball, defense, and us making some plays. All right. And so everyone who's thinking this is going to be some kind of dynamic Tyreek Hill kind of bomb to Jamar Chase over the top, it's not going to happen. However, we do have a new rookie wide receiver who can play that role and take the top off the defense. If you remember, when we drafted Arian Smith, everyone was like, oh my God, but his drops. One thing I said was that you couldn't teach that 4.3 speed. And over the summer, over training camp and in preseason, we have seen a lot of reports about him really working on that and getting better at that. Listen to what former Jet Quincy Enunwa had to say, that Arian Smith is more than just speed. He goes, when you talk about a speed guy, they're usually not really good at running routes. They don't have control of their bodies, so their routes are a little sloppy. They're kind of all over the place. And one thing I like about Arian Smith is he still has a lot of control over his speed. We got to see it in the first game, and now he has that ability, but also the ability to run routes and get open, and that is encouraging. Listen, Arian Smith over 14 yards per reception in the preseason. He also, what I thought was interesting, they used him on an end around. Right? And that's another way we're going to use him. I think that's important, stretching the run game a little horizontally to mix with guys like Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, who are going to be north and south. I also think his development is clear because they decided to let Tyler Johnson go off the 53-man roster, right? That means to me they are comfortable with Arian Smith, along with guys like Alan Lazard, to really play that 3-4 role. It makes me think that Arian Smith is going to be on the field, that he kind of earned that throughout the summer, all right? And remember, we got a bunch of wideouts on the practice squad as well. Guys like B. Smitty, guys like Skinner, Pritchett, things of that nature. So while I don't think we're going to be a aggressive down the field, we do have that talent. We do have that weapon that can, quote unquote, stretch the field, open up the middle for guys like Mason Taylor, Garrett Wilson, of course, and even, I would say, a Breece Hall out of the backfield, right? Speaking of Breece Hall, let's talk about this run game, okay? Listen, I don't know if you're excited about it or not, but I believe the Jets are going to have one of the top 5 running offenses in the NFL. Period. Full stop. And when you think about teams that are able to successfully run the ball in this day and age, these are teams that go to the playoffs and contend for titles. I'm talking about last year, the top 5 or 6 run teams: Philadelphia, Super Bowl; Baltimore, true contender; Washington, NFC Championship game; teams like Detroit, Tampa, playoff teams, right? And everyone thinks this is a passing league. Aaron Glenn really has sort of kind of challenged that assumption and concept that goes around in the NFL. Listen to Aaron Glenn on the mic about his running backs and about his style of play. First of all, he's talking about Braylon Allen. He goes, "It's crazy. A grown man that's 240 pounds, that the youngest guy in the league." And I think he, meaning Braylon Allen, has shown exactly what he can be when it comes to the running game. We have 3 good running backs. He has continued to talk about that, and that doesn't even talk about Justin Fields and his elite dual threat capability. They all have different skill sets that we're going to utilize, and that does not mean I'm trading Breece, okay? Because that's been kind of a rumor and buzz, all the way back since the offseason, right? So I like how he nips that in the bud right again. It does not. I'm going to say that right now. I love having 3 good guys. I wish I had more. And then he was asked about the idea that it's a passing league and if there's any concerns, like we were talking about kind of the checkdowns, about the conservative passing game. Aaron Glenn shuts it right down. He is true to his identity. We know the vision of this team. He goes, "Who says it's a passing league? The team that won the Super Bowl, what were they in passing? 29th? What were they in running? First." And that is what I'm telling you, okay? Remember, the Jets averaged something like 140 yards on the ground in their preseason games. Literally, the teams that did that last year were the Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions. You know what was the case for all of those teams? They went to the playoffs. I'm telling you right now, between this offensive line, between the 3-headed monster that Aaron Glenn continues to talk about, and between the dual threat rushing ability of Justin Fields, mark it down right now. The Jets are going to be a top 5 run game in this league, and that is a way to win in this league. And they've seen it. You've seen it with like the time of possession and using Austin McNamara as a weapon in field position. You've seen it with the roster moves they made. They're only rostering 6 wideouts, but they're rostering 10 offensive linemen. This is the identity. So get with the Glennaissance or get off the train. We are on it here on Jets Latest, all right? So that'll do it for this episode of Jets Latest. We believe this is going to be exciting, and we're going to start punching people in the mouth on Sunday at MetLife Stadium against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's hear, though, what some of you guys had to say, and thank you again. You want to become a Jets Latest Insider? Click on the link. I really do appreciate the growth of this channel. I am so excited to go through this 2025 season with all of you Jets Latest flight crew, locker room insiders. Like, for example, big shout out to Sharon McLean, one of the original day one Jets Latest kind of fans and commenters. Thank you so much, Sharon. Goes, loved Morstead, and now I'm loving McNamara. Go Jets. I really do believe the punter is a weapon. The hang time, the net punting, the inside the 20. Austin McNamara has been a find. I agree with you, Sharon. At Mizzo9 says, Breece will be our wide receiver too. That's what everyone needs to be worried about. And I agree. I keep on saying, Josh Reynolds is fine. Okay, he's not a Pro Bowler, but he's fine. He's dependable. He knows the system and offense as a veteran, which is important. And then really, Mason Taylor and Breece Hall are going to fill that need. Arian Smith is going to be that take the top off the defense weapon, okay? We're okay in the passing game. Shout out to at Tony Sturgis, who says, Dane, what do you think AG is looking for in wins? Does he think he can compete with a division with this roster? Hopefully we can, but I don't know if we made enough moves to be a legit contender. And this is what I say all the time. I don't know if you saw earlier in the season, I believe the Jets can win 8 or 9 games this year. If all things go right, maybe 10. Okay, I will say this, take the over on 5.5 wins. I do think they're going to go over that prop that's being hung at most sports books, right? But because this is year 1, I think we all need to be a little bit patient. Okay? I don't know if we're going to win 9 games. We might win 6. We might win 7. However, if I'm doing Jets' latest episodes in January and we are excited about some of the young talent, feel like a more disciplined team, have more confidence in our coaching staff and front office, and believe that Justin Fields is in fact our quarterback moving forward, I consider 2025 a win, whether we win 7 games or 10 games. Do I think we're going to make the playoffs? I don't know. I don't think we're going to go 13-4. I think we're going to go 9-8. Okay? I think the beginning of the schedule is tough with 3 playoff teams back to back in Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa. I think that's very tough. I think the second half of the season opens up. And I think if we're developing in the right way, games against New Orleans, Cleveland, Jacksonville, Atlanta, and others are winnable. This team could get momentum, right? I don't know if that means a playoff spot. I don't know about wins. I'll say 8 or 9, but I think what's more important is that the Glennaissance starts to take shape in year 1. So I would say be excited, Jets fans, but be patient, Jets fans, as well. At Jersey for Hawks says, great content, DM. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate this. Subscribe to be a Jets latest insider. Tell a Jets fan friend to tell a Jets fan friend. Continue to be here every single day. I will be here every single day during the season, giving you quotes, giving you stats, giving you insights on the Jets, Jets. And if you want to hear more from me, the Spittin' Statistician, I am the host of the FTN Fantasy Show over on SiriusXM because it's fantasy football time. You may have had your draft. If on a week-to-week basis you want to know about waiver claims, who should you sit, who should you start? Should you make this trade? Hit me up in the comments here on social media at Spittin' Speeds. Give me a follow. I love engaging with you guys, whether it be on fantasy, whether it be on betting, or especially with the 2025 green and white. I am very excited. Hopefully you guys are as well. We will be back tomorrow looking at the matchup and all season long. We'll see how many wins we get, Tony Sturgis, but I do think we are in for an optimistic beginning of the Glennaissance. Shout out to Sharon McLean. We're going to be using that, and we're going to be continuing to talk to you tomorrow. But for this episode of Jets Latest, we out of here. Peace.